Kung Fu, the man with the iron fist. SGC here, and before we start, I want to make a shout out to Wiebe. He just opened up Ore Psycho Art Collective at 247 Broadway, and its grand opening is November 11th. November 11th, Remembrance Day, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it's gonna be an art show and the grand opening, so you gotta check it out. Check them out. Ore Psycho Facebook page in the description, or just search up Ore, like I am Psycho, Japanese clearly, and just check out their stuff. Ore Psycho is about local artists and local bands just pushing out their merch there. Like, you got local art, local artists, and you got your merchandise from your local bands, and you got some body jewelry and fashion accessories, stuff like that. Go check them out. 247 Broadway. Grand opening, November 11th. Speaking about local talent and everything, Bashar Sawalha, I probably said it totally wrong, I'm so sorry dude, created this bloody comic about time, titled In Quest of Missing Time. I have to say, it's pretty like graphic here. I mean, you have things are just being eaten up. And yeah, the storyline, it's like interesting in a sense where this family's been feeding these group of people for a long while now, and all of a sudden the family has to go somewhere. This is only issue 1, so that group of people have to like fend for themselves. Though I have to say, the formatting is very different from your traditional comics. There's a lot of sound effects, so I would say this would have been a awesome like animation, because there's so much sound here that it's like I can hear it in my head when I'm reading this. The layout paneling might not be my sort of thing because it's sort of confusing, but you have that for all sorts of comics out there. Even like the big 2 have really crazy paneling that's just way too confusing. But in a sense here, it's not like, oh my goodness, this is so confusing, I'm so lost. But I just have to reread a page once or twice. But that's it, yeah, so In Quest of Missing Time. You can pick this up at RX Comics, where I get my comics, and just check it out. Local art, local artists, support the local. Alright, Halloween has just passed, and there was a Halloween comic fest for all comic stores. Shout out to everyone that got affected by Sandy. Hope you're all okay, and like the power is gonna come back online and you can get your comics sooner than later. So let's just go through what I picked up. Free comics. Zombie Kid Diaries. I think I should have flipped through this before I picked it up. I was like, oh, Halloween, zombies, what could go wrong? Well, this is not really a comic in your traditional sense. There's just pictures and a lot of words, so you like reading stuff. It's just about a kid who's a zombie and he goes through life and he just wants to be like fitted in or something. And he's a gamer, so a zombie gamer. No. Picked up another one, Adventure Time. I never really got into Adventure Time, or I haven't even tried to get into, so this was my chance of getting into Adventure Time. I must say, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. It's about like stuff and they're fighting and I don't get it. Marco, I don't get why you get it. Tales from the Crypt. This is a must get. You should have picked this up because this means like terror, horror for Halloween. A lot of words. I was sort of surprised. I never read Tales of Crypt myself, and I must say I was very surprised and enjoyed it quite a bit. There's a lot of narration, which is like how I would like write my comic right now. It's like sort of too much narration, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can do my comic like this. It's interesting stuff. Must pick it up. If you get a chance, pick it up. Batman Adventures. You got a Zorro sort of esque story, and a Ra's al Ghul one that has Robin in it, and it's like, Halloween. I wish it was Halloween-ish. Stop using esque, but Halloween, like Halloween theme. And on the back, you got a Scooby-Doo. I flipped through it, not interested whatsoever because it's Scooby-Doo. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know what issue this is. If this is the first issue or half, I'm gonna read more, because can you imagine that this is pre-colored like eye-bands? So I was sort of confused who was who, because I always thought that they had color eye-bands, but this is like before like everyone loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and accepted as a child thing. It's not. It's pretty crazy. Lastly, Cowboy Hallows. I read Cowboy itself already. This is amazing. I'm so glad they pushed out a like this one. Wish it dealt with more Halloween stuff, even though its cover is sort of Halloween. I like that whole like Chinese touch in the end where it's like Kwai-den in simplified. Good stuff. So that is it for Halloween comics. Now let's get down and dirty to the comics of this week. First up, Winter Soldier, Wolverine and Hawkeye fighting Bucky. I had to reread the first panel a few times because I was like, who's talking? Then I find out it's Wolverine. I'm like, oh, everything makes sense now. So like, there's a lot of like cameos here or guest stars. I mean, you got Hawkeye, Captain America, Maria Hill, and now you even got Daredevil, who's not on the cover. So that was like a spoiler. I look forward to the next issue. I mean, it's like really crazy, this arc of the whole like, oh, I'm a double agent, but now let's revert back to my original status of evil person. And now there are 2 evil persons are out there, and I am sort of like, whoa, how is this gonna end? I really wonder how Marvel now is gonna affect Winter Soldier. Hope it goes somewhere good. Liberty Annual 2012, awesome stuff. A lot of great stuff here. I must shout out to Gabriel Ba. Love the page spread. Really, if you got this cover, you like the page spread. And if that page spread's in the other covers, it's just like, why do you get that cover? This is obviously the better one. So there's a lot of people in here, so let me just shout out some names. I mean, you got like Jonathan Hickman doing that Which Came First, Andy Diggle and Ben Templeswift doing Barren Ground. That was an interesting where like a demon came out and he's like, why is everyone so evil? Freedom from Howard Chaykin and Sina Grace. Interesting sense of like the Americanism thingy. Free by Stephen T. Segal, Marco Sinelli, Lemire, Joe Keatings, and Chana Cluston Flores and J.G. Russell. This was an interesting one where it talked about the dynamic of like a mother and a daughter relationship at a movie theater, or actually working at one. Hunters by James Robinson and Jay Bone. I like the art here. It was really interesting. Last Rites, James Asmus and Takashi Miyazawa. I love the art here. Really great read. And then Marine Man and Hit Flash by Richard Starkings and Ian Churchill. Interesting. Sasquatch by Chris Robertson and Roger Lankridge. Yeah, this was funny stuff. Common Comic Conversation, Chris Guerrero. Interesting. I mean, like, seriously, read it. Storm Dogs, All Freedoms Grow by David Hine and Doug Brathwaite. This was an interesting concept where I actually wanted this to be an ongoing. Like, I wouldn't mind because the story was intriguing. Then King Kim, Barlerton Revenge by Brandon Grimm. Brandon! And if you didn't know, he just told me this morning when I checked Twitter, is that apparently, not apparently, but yeah, King Kim is actually the comic that Nikolai reads in Warheads. Multiple Warheads. That's crazy detail stuff, man. Love the crazy detail. Just As Real As Yours, Jim McCain and Janet Leigh. That was a story. Unleashed, Taron Gillen, Nate Bellegarde, Jordi Belair. Interesting, like the freedom of a dog from its leash. Douchebag from Terry Moore. This was hilarious. This was funny. This was just funny. And The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adler. For those that saw last week's episode, it reminds you of what happens. Like, it ties in with the TV episode, so because it's pretty much a TV episode. Anyway, so let me find that middle page spread. So, things are sort of edited. I gotta cover it, because, yeah, you know, YouTube. But, yeah, it's different. Wonder what's under my finger. Happy issue 2! I enjoyed this, like, so much more than issue 1. Don't know why. Maybe I accepted the fact that the unicorn is real and it's gonna be there forever until issue 4 anyway. Story is like, whoa, like so many things are happening and with that girl, and now all of a sudden there's like a Santa Claus involved. It's just like, what's happening? Intrigued and interested. Captain Marvel, Emma Rios. Love. Just crazy. I mean, the whole time travel thing and the art. And it's just like, wow. Like I said last week, Emma do everything. I would buy it all. Like, it's amazing. Storyline, it was like, whole like time travel thing, so nothing really happened in the actual timeline, but it was an interesting character development where talked about the old woman and Captain Marvel. Bedlam, oh ho ho ho, out of stock at RX, so make sure you pick up the second printing when issue 2 comes out. Then you can read it back to back and it'll be like, boom! But anyway, Bedlam, written by Nick Spencer and drawn by Riley Rismo. Oh wow, like it's just wow. And I sort of missed one thing that sort of screwed the entire storyline for me while I read it the first time. I was like, I missed this now tag. I was like, oh, the section where he's crazy and then he's crazier when he's not chased by the cops. So this is a very intriguing like storyline. I mean, you have this mass murderer who's gonna help the cops catch other murderers. So, and it's pretty nuts. I look forward to it. I just hope that Nick Spencer can like keep it up and not do the whole Morning Glory thing that happened to me. I mean, I stuck with Morning Glory till issue 13 and I sort of gave up. So Bedlam, I hope you do a lot better for me. Hit Girl! Whoa. Things are not that awesome for Mindy right now. I mean, she's gotta like juggle the life of Hit Girl and Mindy Normal Girl. That's gonna be hard, and yeah, I mean, like, you got a backup story about Red Mist, how he's training up to just, like, fight. And there's a lot of Batman references, which is hilarious, like the Blue Lotus. What is the significance of Blue Lotus? Oh, I saw it in Batman Begins, and I thought it sounded cool, and he's giving us money, so why not? hilarious. So hit girl, hit girl, hit girl. Probably like what, 1 or 2 issues left, and that'll be it. So I wonder what's up with Mark Millar. Is he gonna like continue somehow with Kick-Ass 3? Ooh. Wolverine X-Men. Brew. Survive. You will. I saw the cover of 25. So you got a 3 divided cover here. You got Wolverine hunting down the Hellfire Club, and then you got like signing up for new teachers, and then you got Beast here who's trying to save Brew. It was fun issue. I mean, the whole signing up for new teacher is like hilarious, sort of like contrasts to the seriousness of the other 2 storylines, and Wolverine is sort of like, I'm gonna draw the line. And then you got Beast who's like sort of like, wow, what is happening here? Love the issue, love the stuff. Can't wait for more. So there we go. I bought back issues this week because it's a back issue 50% off sale on RX Comics. Back issues, address is in the description box. And the sale goes on till Sunday. So make sure you pick up your back issues. Or go to the Heritage Hall Vancouver Comicon on November 4th, which is this Sunday. And then go say hi to Kurtis J. Wiebe, who did Peter Pouncehouse. He's gonna show up there, and then see if you can pick up some cheap stuff, and if you need to fill some like holes in your collection, go to RX and buy everything that you need. Don't think about it. 50% off back issues is a great deal. No other store does that, so you should totally do it. And that is all for this week's comic stuff. I'm gonna leave you with a few pictures from Oh That Psycho Art Collective. So yeah, check it out. Check out the bands, check out the art. Go check it out on November 11th, 247 Broadway, 7 o'clock to 10 p.m. It's gonna be great. Art Collective. Oh That Psycho!